Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Cross-Chain Insider, a weekly roundup of all news traveling across chains, brought to you by LI.FI. I'm Mark, member of the BizDev team and a recovering Bitcoin maxi. My GigaBrain co-host is Arjun, the jack of all trades and master of everything here at LI.FI. What is up, Arjun?
Hey, so how is Bitcoin doing in the market now?
Hey, I said I'm a recovering maxi, but I could ask you the same about pretty much any token except for maybe like GMX.
GMX was also exploited yesterday, I think.
It wasn't exploited.
Trading
There
as
was some
such.
trading stuff going
Yeah,
on
I didn't understand any of that.
where Matt Levine covered it in money stuff, which that's like a big deal. So it wasn't a great thing for GMX, but it wasn't an exploit.
Yeah, it
And
was a trading exploit.
it was yeah, we won't even throw the E word out there.
Okay, fine.
It's a dirty word in our industry. Okay. Anyways, sorry for the kind of rabbit hole conversation there to start the pod. But as always, this is the Cross Chain Insider. Arjun writes this as a newsletter. Then we pod about it a few hours later. Arjun, can you give us the bridging recap for the week? That's always the first section
Yeah,
here.
so let's start with something that starts with an exploit. So the DogeChain native bridge, it was exploited. It was not technically exploited, but the devs detected a bug in the bridge contracts and they paused the chain to perform maintenance on it. So according to the team, no Dogecoin was affected, no funds were affected, and the devs successfully reverted the unwarranted minting of any wrapped Doge on Dogechain. So it seems like nothing was affected because the devs they acted quickly and they stopped the chain for maintenance.
Yep. So, and just to make this clear, they did write in their Twitter thread, Arjun did use the E word again, but not an exploit or a hack was in their Twitter thread. So they're calling it a bug. Maybe we'll have
See,
to write an article about the difference between a bug, exploit, and a
See,
hack.
if they're writing it, of course they'll call it not an exploit. But like from where I took it, it was called an exploit. So it's fine. It's fine. The explanation does justice to it. So it's fine. Next we have Hyperlane. So this is Abacus. Abacus has rebranded to Hyperlane, and this is just to refresh their identity with an intergalactic rebrand, as they said. So their vision is for the interchain as the interchain future expands. So they feel the Hyperlane brand does it more justice than Abacus. It's a nice logo.
Yeah, it's a nice logo. It was pretty nice of them to do this like before we published our big AMB comparison article because
Yeah.
it would have been super disappointing to have this comparison article write about Abacus and then 2 days later have that article already be outdated. So
Yeah.
thank you, Hyperline.
To be fair, like we got this new logo and new identity like 3 days ago, so that we could update the article. So that was really nice of the team. But yeah, staying on the theme of rebrands, I think bridges really like to rebrand. So Synapse, they've rebranded their logo and UI. So there's a new landing page as well. And again, this is to symbolize exactly what Synapse does best, connecting blockchains in the most seamless way possible. So again, another bridge that's like rebranding to kind of refresh its identity and make it more suitable to what they do and what they feel like as a brand. Did you try out the new landing page widget?
I tested it out earlier today. I think I sent like 5 cents across chains. It was pretty aggressive of me. I like the landing page.
Mhm.
That was pretty cool.
It's nice, but I think this is like the third or fourth rebrand. Like I think Axelar also recently changed their logo, so it's. I think we should do something on bridges and the rebrand. But
Oh, that sounds like something I would write a Twitter thread
yeah,
about.
the interesting thing is no one really remembers the previous brand at all. Like I don't remember the Synapse logo anymore after seeing this.
Um, totally adjacent topic, but do you think you could draw the LI.FI logo from memory right now?
No.
Maybe we should do that at the end of a pod one time. Have a
Yeah.
competition.
No.
Make an NFT of it. Okay, never mind. Next topic.
Yeah. So Nomad, they've come up with a recovery progress update, I think they came up with something similar last week. So again, it's like they've recovered over 36 million in hacked funds through the help of white hat hackers, and they've completed the design for bridge restart and how they're going to distribute funds across like all the affected users. And most importantly, they've begun the audit process as well. So the team will come up with a restart update pretty soon. I think they said in an earlier post they expect the bridge to restart in October, which is soonish. Like we're already in the end of September. So yeah, we're all hoping for them to restart soon and come back strong.
Yep, I love all of these updates from them. I think it's a very good precedent to set. If something is to happen to you in the space, just be honest and more importantly, be constantly be updating. Like I hate it when I see an exploited protocol and then there's like a month that goes by and the team hasn't said anything. Nomad has been the opposite of that. They've over communicated. And I think that's a very good precedent.
Yeah. Up next, we have AllBridge. So AllBridge has announced a new product feature, which is called AllBridge Core. So this feature enables cross-chain swaps of native stablecoins between Ethereum, BNB chain, and Tron. And the team plans to add support for Solana in the near future. So the product is still in beta, but yeah, it's a new feature, and they'll be connecting to Solana soon.
Yeah, be careful saying in the near future with updates like this. Right? Am I right? Okay, now next up in the pod is just kind of multi-chain ecosystem updates. We'll start with the OG chain, Ethereum. It completed the merge, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in a second here. But look at this. This is Vitalik. I can't believe it actually happened. Happy merge. I stayed up and watched it.
Some
Next,
of us
we have
didn't have to stay up, but still slept.
some of us just woke up and it was time to merge. Next up is the biggest piece of news I've seen in the space, probably in 2022. Starbucks is pretty much Starbucks announced pretty much an NFT campaign that's going to be going on Polygon. They're going to have their rewards program transition. There's going to be NFTs. There's going to be loyalty points. They're going to be doing some gasless transaction stuff, I believe, if I read their post correctly. I mean, look, if we're looking for mass adoption of crypto, like Starbucks is doing some type of crypto loyalty program. I mean, that's massive.
And Polygon is always leading the way in terms of like mass adoption, right? Seems to be the chain of choice.
Seems to be the chain of choice. I found this interesting that it was announced during the merge week with all of the focus on Ethereum being more environmental friendly. That will make Polygon more environmental friendly. When and the environment is like really talked about a lot in this press release if you go and read it. But this is just like massive news. This is like
but it's only for US based Starbucks users right now, I think.
That's a good point. And also I just can't believe they didn't make a loyalty point called a Starbucks. Like it's Starbucks, like it bucks, like it's ends in bucks. And they didn't do that.
Maybe it's too confusing because it's the actual name of the brand.
Yeah. And then I mean, shout out the Odyssey is like really that's a hot term right now.
Yeah.
You know, Arbitrum Odyssey, Starbucks Odyssey. Maybe I need to go.
Give me a third one.
I have the Odyssey right here. Homer. You didn't think I could pull that off so fast.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we have USDT launching on Near. It's going to be the 13th blockchain to host USDT. I won't name off all of the chains, but this is pretty big news. Anytime Tether moves to a new chain, it kind of means that chain is one of the big boys. I don't really have anything else to add here.
I mean, it's just more liquidity, right? Like if there's a new stablecoin like USDT coming to your chain, there's just probably going to be an influx of liquidity.
Then next we have two new governance proposals to launch Uniswap v3 on different chains, or as Devin Walsh put it on Twitter, hey babe, wake, two new Uniswap temp checks just dropped. I've been wanting to say that on this podcast all day after I read it the first time. Based on voting, it looks like there's some interest. 12 million uni have voted yes for deployment on Aurora, and 6.5 million have voted yes on zkSync. I'm not sure what the threshold is for these votes to pass, but as they move along in the governance process, we will keep you updated. Lastly, in the multi-chain ecosystem world, we have Nitro. Oh, yeah, Nitro. It's an L2 scaling solution for Solana. It will serve as the gateway between Solana and Cosmos, and it features SVM compatibility that enables developers to easily launch their Solana dApps on Nitro, which will allow them to access the Cosmos ecosystem and IBC ecosystem, which is pretty similar but not exactly the same.
It's interesting. Like Solana is getting a scaling solution. I thought Solana was the chain with like the highest throughput.
But I mean, here's the thing with the highest throughput. Like, even if you're getting 10,000 transactions per second, that's still not that many transactions per second on the grand scheme of things. I mean, if we're going to be wanting to build like blockchains for the world, right? If crypto is going to be the thing, we're going to need hundreds of thousands of transactions
Like, I think
per second.
this sounds a bit off because whenever we say scaling, we think about, oh, okay, cheaper transactions, but Solana always had cheap transactions. So this is like, oh, Solana is getting a scaling solution, but this is mainly for more transactions on the network.
Yep. L2 on Solana. I think Vitalik wrote this week about L3s. So we're going to be getting all sorts of scaling solutions dropping now that the merge is done and the nerds can come out of hibernation where they were just working on, this big software upgrade. And now we're going to be getting some other new ideas, I would assume.
And those will happen in like 2026.
Yeah, right. I'll take the over. Okay, next up, we have What's Poppin', where Arjun summarizes the biggest theme of the week that he saw while scrolling Twitter when he should have been probably reading a white paper or something.
No, when I should have been scrolling Twitter because that's also part of the job. So I think this week you can't look past the merge. I think I said the same thing last week, but this actually happened, right? Like last week was just building up to the event, and this time the event is done successfully. It happened perfectly, smoothly. There was no downtime. I think some of the validators faced some trouble, but in general, everything went smoothly. So there's a meme. Before we look at what's next for Ethereum, we must pay homage to Ethereum miners because without them, we would not have been here. So pay your respects.
Is it homage or homage?
I don't know. I've always said homage.
I speak English natively. I'm a moron like that. I'm the left of the curve, right? I don't know how to say it.
It's fine. The word is there. You can go Google it how to pronounce it.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. But yeah, so the miners investment is not like totally gone to zero as they're now shifting to other proof of work chains like Ethereum Classic. Ethereum proof of work also remains, Ravencoin, and there are other chains as well. So with the merge out of the way, what's next for Ethereum? I think the most immediate update that we can see next is the Shanghai update. So this has like many features tapped into one. So there's like staking withdrawals, EIP 4844, and we can expect to see it in the next 6 to 12 months. But I think mainly the major upgrade that everyone's looking forward to is sharding. And many said that the merge is kind of like the second step in towards sharding, and sharding is like the final step of it all. So this sharding upgrade is expected in 2023 to 2024, and it would make rollups even cheaper, enabling them to offer much lower transaction fees. And I think Vitalik said the merge is only like 55% completion of the entire network. So you can you can imagine how much work there is still to do on Ethereum, right?
There's still so much work left to do. First of all, we need to rebrand sharding. Terrible word choice. Let's go, guys. We're better than that. Another interesting thing is I was reading a couple threads this week that the staking withdrawals, which was originally thought to, well, it was originally expected to be about 6 months post merge, is now looking more like 12 months if Twitter threads are a
By
reliable
the time
source,
it
which
actually launches, it'll
they're
be
not.
24
Yeah.
months.
Which like with the market how it is, I mean, maybe I'm happy that staking withdrawals are delayed, but I need to do more research on it before I have an actual opinion or say that like it's a
I think I read a
source
thread that
statement.
staking withdrawals won't actually be bad for the price of ETH, but I don't remember the reasoning.
I think I also read that because like if you're such an OG that you were staking ETH back in the day, it's like, are you really going to sell? And also we've round tripped. So by the
Mm.
time staking is ready, we're going to be in like triple digit ETH. I'm pretty sure I read the same thread as you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
because that was sort of the
Hey,
logic.
everyone on Twitter is reading the same thing.
Yep. Pretty
But
much
yeah,
my Twitter thread knows it like shows me Arjun like this. And
yeah,
I'm like, oh,
exactly.
great.
But yeah, just to see how much work is still left, you can refer to the OG roadmap of Ethereum by Vitalik.
Right. Then we have what? We have the Surge, the Verge, and the Purge. And
Basically
then
everything.
I believe after the Purge, there's the Splurge.
What? I don't
So
remember.
all I know is that we need to rename sharding. We need to.
Why
Like,
don't
come
you
on.
DM Vitalik?
Should I shoot my shot? We'll
Yeah.
keep you updated, guys, for next week. Because also, we're decentralized, man. I can't just DM Vitalik, him make the decision for Ethereum. Right?
And he won't
Right?
check your DMs, but you can still
Right?
shoot your shot.
Last portion of the podcast is interesting reads, where Arjun drops some alpha on what he's been reading the last few days.
So the first one is kind of technical. So it's like, how do you bring IBC to Ethereum? And there's a project working on this. They're trying to do this using zkSnarks. And this is basically a proposal that provides an overview of how this project is trying to do it. So they're trying to gather support from the Ethereum community and basically all the details about how the tech works and everything you need to know about how they're trying to bring IBC to Ethereum, which would be awesome, right? Like if IBC comes to Ethereum.
Oh, yeah, no, it'd be great. Sorry, I blanked out. I was just thinking about like if I sent this sentence bringing IBC to Ethereum using zkSnarks to myself 4 years ago, how confused my 4-year-old self would be. I'd be like, what in the world? Now I read the title and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. This is gonna be like 10 minutes of reading.
Yeah. I mean, all the keywords there we probably won't have understood, like IBC, Ethereum, zkSnarks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting proposal because like I think everyone wants to see IBC connectivity with Ethereum, and this project is trying to do it. The
Hey,
next,
I mean, for scaling purposes, connecting IBC to Ethereum is pretty much like, I mean, we work in the bridging industry.
yeah,
It's the dream, right? I love how IBC has structured itself. The whole Cosmos ecosystem really is just a bunch of, I mean, they're not even degens. They're actually like, I would say it's kind of a nerdier ecosystem of builders. So
yeah.
I'm very excited about
I
this.
mean,
You should
every
definitely read
time
this.
we kind of think about bringing IBC out of the Cosmos ecosystem, it's always like, oh, it'll cost too much. It's too
Yep.
much. Like resources are needed. So this is nice to see that there's someone who's trying to work on this and trying to make it possible.
Yep.
Up next, we have a thread about Synapse Chain. So again, it's like with the rebranding and everything, there's a lot of buzz around Synapse. So and they recently launched the Synapse Chain as well. So this thread basically covers what the Synapse Chain is, why is it important, what's new about it, what's changed, and it kind of also gives like some stats about how Synapse compares to other bridging solutions. So you can see it's like one of the most used bridging solutions out there.
So much Synapse material.
Mhm. They
Like
have a
I
they have a
feel like
very active community.
yeah, very active. I see so many threads
Yeah.
and so many like blog posts about them. And then the last piece I will talk about, it's one of the most well-named threads I've seen in a while. It is making blockchains suck less. This is a summary of someone's, I believe. Oh yeah, here we go. Nader, his conference talk.
Mhm.
I think this is a great thread because it like really outlines in simple terms how to improve blockchain scalability, throughput, and a couple different issues. I won't go into that. You just need to go read the thread, but I will. Like this was just a great thing for me to see today because it was kind of like prices are down day, not very many big time updates in the ecosystem, and then like I go back and I see blockchain use cases. And I'm like, oh, financial accessibility, internet native payments, stable currencies, immutable data layers, censorship resistance, like all those things are definitely worth working for.
Mhm.
And like they like kind of just reading this thread made me passionate again. And so I would recommend this. Um,
I think all of these are such important like pillars of the ecosystem. Like all of those words, everyone is basically working towards them.
yeah, and this thread honestly has some like good virtual machine stuff. If you want to like kind of dig into some details, it goes in. There's some good stuff, but it's like 50 or 55 posts, so
Hey, everyone has time.
that's a good point. It is bear market. What else are you going to be doing? Okay. Do you have I think that's the end of all of our content.
Yeah,
Do you have
if you have time, go read the A and B comparison framework as well. I think you
yeah.
should put that up on the screen.
A and B? I don't want to like. I feel like there's just too many ways for that to go wrong. But I will say, Arjun, and I guess I was involved, sort of.
What do you
Um,
mean you were sort of involved? I think they should introduce the what is that co-tweeting feature on Medium as well, so that we can
yeah,
write
they
together.
have it on Substack, but not on Medium.
Yeah.
I'll write a really strongly worded email. But Arjun and I wrote an arbitrary messaging bridges
After writing
comparison article.
10,000 words on it.
I always want to say arbitrary message passing bridges. Like
Mhm.
I want to add the passing in there, but
Yeah.
it's arbitrary messaging bridges,
Mhm.
which is just so much easier to say. And it's a 10,000 word doc. It compares 7 different A and Bs. Arjun, can you name them off the top of your head without
Of course.
hesitating?
There's
What do you got?
Axelar, there's Layer Zero, Wormhole, Nomad, Seller IM, Anycall, and then Hyperlane.
There was a pretty prolonged pause before any call. There was an
No, because I have to
I don't
go
know.
through them in my head.
But anyways, there was a thread. It analyzes pretty much each of the A and B strengths, weaknesses, trade-offs. We talk about trust assumptions, and at the end, we have a beautiful little chart that summarizes it all. It is a 43-minute read on Medium, which I am very, very proud of, even though the readers are very, very mad about.
I mean, we
Um,
will like throughout the next few weeks, we will publish everything in a more digestible manner so that you can like check out each AMB individually, and then the comparison framework as well. We'll publish it as a blog so that it's more readable and it's not like a 43-minute read.
Right. But like in the meantime, you can go check it out. That's on our Medium page. And look, Arjun
It's
and
also
I think
on our knowledge hub. So if you end up Googling
yep,
it, you will probably go there.
exactly. But I think that took like 2 to 3 months to go from ideation to publication.
Mhm.
Our biggest piece yet. So definitely go give that a read. And if we missed anything, or if you think we're wrong about anything, we'd love to hear about that. We're always available on Twitter. And like you can, I mean, it's literally like go to LI.FI's Twitter page. Arjun and I will be commenting on everything. You'll be able to find us
Yeah.
pretty easily.
And I think the best part about is that we'll keep updating this. So every time there's a new solution in the market, we'll add it to the resource. And then another thing is all the information has been reviewed and edited by the teams themselves. So if it's wrong, it's not just on us, by the way.
Right. Reviewed and edited by the
Yeah.
teams. That's why it kind of took so long
Yeah,
for
so the entire process, like you have to get feedback from 7 teams, and then you have to
the
bring it all together in the end. So it took a long time. Even though it was ready like a week ago, we just couldn't like
it,
hit
it,
publish.
it was a decentralized editing process.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna call it.
Okay.
It was validated by 7 different sources. And
We don't use that word here.
you're right. It was a pretty trusted process if I really had to
Yeah.
call it something. I wouldn't call it trustless. Okay. With that, do you have anything else?
No.
No, that was it. Okay. Well, with that, that's the latest episode of the Cross-Chain Insider. For more info, be sure to subscribe to the Cross-Chain Insider, which is the net newsletter we just covered, which is on Substack. That is li.fi.substack.com. You can also check out Li.Fi on the web at LI.FI. We're building what I think is one of the coolest pieces of cross-chain infrastructure out there, allowing for swapping and cross-chain contract calls and bridging over like 17 chains. And with that, check us out on Twitter at Li.Fi Protocol, Li.Fi Protocol. And we will talk to you next week.